I cannot ban you. This isn't my server that you're in. It's not my server. I'm very kindly allowed access for my show. Shout out to Betty. Thank you so much for allowing me to use your server. But I don't have anything to do with it. I don't ban anybody. It's not my server. Just so you know.
Why are you so afraid that your responses
in that
are
case,
so
I'll have a quick smoke and
Jazz?
come back in a minute, and I'll answer that question very
Jazz, can I ask
precisely.
you a question? Before you made a claim, right? And then when asked to back up that claim, you very, very strongly said, no, I will not provide any cowbell for my claim. Okay, great. Then we asked you something else, and now you're crying that your response might get you banned. Why is it that you're so afraid that your response is going to get you banned? Are you not confident in your response, or I don't understand the problem here.
It's not that I'm not confident in my response. It's that if I disagree with yous, my response will be disregarded.
Yeah,
that's not true.
Am I right?
Hold on. We haven't disregarded your response. So you've told us about the Bendy Bridge. Not only we're not disregarding it, we're pressing you for more info. And you're off for a smoke saying, no, I'll get suppressed. Quite the contrary, you're being asked questions about your claim. You're not being suppressed. Quite the contrary.
Oh. Okay, well, this is the perfect channel to do it then. I'll go for a quick smoke and I won't have to worry about being on your
thanks,
channel.
Jazz. I would agree. So many people say the opposite view to that, which is that, no, that everyone gets suppressed here. Even though, obviously, their claim gets heard, we hear the full entirety of their nonsense. Then we rip it to shreds while they try and talk through us and claim that we're censoring them. But it's nice that you appreciate that we've allowed you to make your claim and now it's time to provide cowbell. You're off for a smoke claiming censorship until it's pointed out that absolutely isn't the case. Thank you very much.
Okay, no worries then, Nathan. I'll be back.
I'll be back.
That was so pathetic.
Let me ask my question. How do you?
I have yet to hear
Hold on. I've got a question. Whoever said that, go ahead.
How do you explain the moon phase?
Say that once more.
What?
Can you repeat yourself, please? I didn't quite hear what you said. Sorry.
How do you explain the moon phases?
Explain what about
I'm
them?
still rolling my smoke. That's the dumbest question I've ever heard.
Really need that update.
That's a dumb question.
Really appreciate it, Jazz. Thank you. How do we explain
this? Dumb fuck. Please come up with another.
Jazz,
don't answer it.
Swearing, mate. We kept the swear count to 0 till now. Right. Okay. Sorry, mate. What about the moon phases? What needs explaining exactly? I don't know what the moon is, by the way, or how it illuminates.
No, I just how does a flat Earth model? I know the flat earthers don't generally have a model, but if they did, how would it explain the moon phases?
We don't, so we can't. I don't know. I can't explain moon phases. I can describe the pattern in great detail, but explaining a cause would be to understand what it is and how it does what it does, which I don't have. I appreciate your model attempts to explain it, but your model, if it is your model, I'm assuming that's the case, that you're a heliocentrist. The heliocentric model attempts to explain something with a lot of presupposition. And while I don't make any presuppositions or don't have a model, I don't necessarily need or require any attempt on my part to explain something that is already standing with a positive claim from heliocentrism.
How do you explain moon phases in the globe model?
Let's just give him his answer. My honest answer is I don't know. There you go.
Okay. Even if someone knew, how would that change the nature of this Earth?
He wants to burn a model. He's made that clear. If we did have a model, it's like, what? If we won't immediately accept your straw man, what, are you going to try and weasel it in by going, well, if you did have a model? No, models are pseudoscience. The reason we're in this problem, the reason this world has the worldview it does is because they've accepted models. Pseudoscience. The map is not the terrain.
Like, you don't have to, like, believe it or nothing else. I'm not here to force opinions or anything like that, but why do you think that the moon phases doesn't fit with the heliocentric model?
Well, the selenion for a start.
Wait, what?
The selenion's got the sun and the moon both above the horizon. during an eclipse. So you've got a lunar eclipse with the shadow.
Can you like?
Okay, I
like,
won't tell
post
you.
image
My bad.
views?
My bad. Obviously,
that would-
debunking your model is very painful for you. You've just asked me a direct question. How doesn't it work with my model? I'm in the middle of telling you. Yeah, so the selenion debunks the model because you've got both claimed to be physical bodies in the sky above the horizon with a shadow passing over one, a claimed shadow, in the wrong direction. So one body isn't between the other as per the model. It doesn't work in the model. So that alone debunks the claims of heliocentricity, with the sun at the centre, the earth circling around it, falling around it, I should say, and the earth falling around it, and upon alignment you get a shadow. Well, that's debunked with this phenomenon.
Yeah, you called?
May I?
Not only
You
should
have
you
a
not
video
get a
of it.
shadow.
Everyone, can you let him respond? Hello? Go ahead, mate. I'm sorry, what's
Yes,
your name? Shadow something?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so, but eclipses are not related to moon phases. This is not a shadow of Earth. It's its own shadow.
Says you.
Guys, if you post a video, I'll watch it. Okay?
Sorry,
that would
says,
help.
says
a lot.
you claim we're dealing with shadows. So we're dealing with physical bodies and physical shadows and light being obstructed. Well, no, the selenion debunks that. These bodies, when they have shadows on them, aren't being caused by anything precluding light from getting to it in any way, shape or form. So the idea that you have a reflection of sun's light giving you these phases is also debunked with specular reflections. You can't have this even scattering of light off an uneven surface. So the fact that we have them debunks the idea that it's reflecting the sun's light. It isn't.
Okay, I propose an experiment. Whenever there is a moon during the day, if you take a ball in your hand and like look at the moon, you know that it's going to look more or less the same. The shadow.
A bulb representing the moon.
Not an experiment.
So that's okay. Just a demonstration, fine. I'll look past that. This demonstration or...
Demonstration, okay, yeah, sorry.
It's fine, I'm not going to nitpick. It's fine. So, the bulb is representative of the moon.
Yes, like if you point a camera at the moon and also take a ball in your hand and put it like next to the moon, the shadow on the ball will be more or less the same as the moon phase.
So, what? So what, because you can correlate these two things, that means it is that? No.
It corroborates at least a little bit, doesn't it?
It's just a correlation.
Well, obviously it's not causation. The shadow on a ball on Earth doesn't cause a shadow on the moon, obviously.
Well, that requires a presupposition that Earth is a physical sphere-shaped ball in a vacuum, though, doesn't it? And we've debunked both of those things. The Earth is definitely not a sphere-shaped ball. We've debunked that with the black swan. And it's definitely not flying through any vacuum. We've debunked that by demonstrations of the second law of thermodynamics. So neither of those two presuppositions that you require to hold before you make that statement are true. We've debunked both of them.
I mean, it might correlate sometimes, but what happens when it doesn't correlate?
What, with like a selenion?
Does that debunk it?
But it does.
Yeah, exactly. That was how I started this chocolate. What about when it doesn't correlate? You just whistle past that.
Yeah, because
I've seen it with
does
my own
correlate.
eyes when it doesn't correlate.
Sorry, he's saying it does correlate. So you're aware of this phenomenon, where both of these celestial objects are above the horizon. You're aware of that.
Yeah.
How is it possible that if they're both above the horizon, one is causing a shadow on the other, if they're not?
But that's the thing. No. Because the shadow on the moon is its own shadow. Because you're seeing the side which is not facing the sun. It's not has nothing to do with Earth's shadow.
You're getting confused. You're describing moon phases. Now, in the moon phase
moon
model,
phases. Moon phases have nothing to do with Earth's shadow.
I understand. You don't need to repeat yourself through me.
Okay.
I hear you,
okay,
and I understand this. You're describing moon phases and a reflective light. I've debunked that with specular reflections, by the way. You didn't acknowledge what I said, but I've already debunked that. Now we're moving on to a different part of the same model that gives you a similar effect of shadows caused by bodies and their position with respect to each other in the same exact model. That would be the heliocentric model of physical sphere-shaped bodies. We've debunked that with the black swan. Flying around each other in a vacuum. We've debunked that with natural law. Just to get those two things. Again, no acknowledgement of either of those statements from you thus far. But I'll point them out for a second time. Again, I don't expect an acknowledgement. But we've debunked all of these presuppositions you are utilising to describe moon phases, which we've debunked with specular reflection. We're moving on to a different part of the model which does not correlate with this physical bodies giving you shadows and light reflections. So when it does not correlate, as in the selenion, you're going to ignore that? Because what it does correlate when you get moon phases? No, mate. So, just to summarise, because you've ignored all of it, we've debunked Earth being a spherical rock with the black swan. We've debunked that debunked black swan rock flying through a sky vacuum by demonstrating the gas we breathe would fill the available volume of space, as per the second law of thermodynamics. So your two presuppositions have been debunked to have this model causing light reflections, which have been debunked with specular reflections, giving you something that doesn't correlate with the model, even though those presuppositions have been debunked, which would be the selenion. Okie dokie?
I'm going to post a video. Please watch it.
So no acknowledgement of any statement I've just made, just I'm going to post a video. So let's take you step by step through it, mate. It's probably going to be painful for you. Do you understand, first and foremost, that we are not... Yeah, that's okay. I'm going to break it down for you. Step 1. This assumption in the model starts with Earth being a ball. And that assumption you are making, with your religious belief of a ball Earth in a vacuum, requires Earth to be sphere-shaped, and physically sphere-shaped, I might add. That notion, that presupposition you hold...
Okay, first of all, it doesn't matter...
Mate, I'm breaking it down one at a time. I said it would be painful. That doesn't mean interrupt, because you've struggled to cope with more than one thing. That's not unreasonable. You're a bloke. I'm the same. Multitasking's not my thing. But I'm breaking it down one at a time. All of the things that you've whistled past and just declared I go and watch a smegging video. So even though you won't acknowledge any of these things, I'm still going to break them down for you, painful though it may be for you. Your model declaration with its correlation for moon phases requires presuppositions that have been debunked. I'll attempt again for the second time to break this down step by step. Step 1. Earth must be presumed to be sphere-shaped. We have debunked that with the black swan. If the Earth is a sphere with a radius of 3959, then every distance to horizon measurement must be no more than 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. And we have demonstrated on countless occasions that the horizon is way beyond the physical geometry laid down in the first section of Modus Tollens, 3959 based horizon. Therefore, the Earth is not a sphere. Your presupposition with its R value is debunked. Do you understand that your sphere presupposition isn't tolerable because it's untenable?
You would have to take it step at a time, because I lost track there.
No worries. To assume you've got a sphere-shaped Earth, then the Earth must be sphere-shaped.
It doesn't matter what shape of the Earth is when you're looking at the moon.
Really? Well, in your model, you've got a sphere-shaped Earth giving you these moon phases with sunlight and Earth travelling around it as a sphere. So, yeah, it does matter because that's how this moon phase claim that you've made. Don't you understand your own religious faith? Because I'm having to tell you that your claim is based on heliocentricity, and you're now denying that and saying it doesn't matter about Earth being a sphere. In a heliocentric model with Earth as a sphere and the sun at the centre, yeah, it does matter, mate. Are you retarded? Because you're starting to piss me off. Yeah, it is a claim of heliocentricity, dipshit.
What matters is that you're looking at the moon.
What matters is your claim is based on heliocentricity, and you've just denied it. Then there's a stony silence when I point out that you're starting to piss me off. Yet your claims based on heliocentricity, sun at centre, Earth as a sphere, rotating around it based on a presupposition of an R value, giving you the distance to the sun that you're moving around in your model of a sphere Earth, which has been debunked with the black swan 3 times for you personally, and you haven't acknowledged it once. You've said it's not important that Earth's a sphere in this sphere model. Yeah, it is, dipshit.
You missed the point.
What? The heliocentric model and the light coming from the sphere-shaped sun bouncing off a sphere-shaped moon being observed from a sphere-shaped Earth? Yeah, I get that you say that's not important. It's the basis of your bloody religion, though, mate. So yeah, it's critical because you're describing heliocentricity and then denying that that's even important. It's the fundamental basis of the model you're using to give you these moon phases. Okay? You're just a retard. I'm done with you. You're annoying me too much. Yeah, when your model's smashed, that's when you start denying that it even matters that you're describing your own model. You double-speaking fundy idiot. Yeah, you're describing a globe Earth model called a heliocentric model, and when I smash it to pieces by proving that there is very limited correlation that you can draw, and there's things that contradict it, and the assumptions used to make these models are all bunk, we've debunked them, all of that will be ignored. Apparently it's not relevant that it's heliocentric that you're describing at that point. No, it's just been smashed, mate. Debunked by us.